Okay, so we've pretty much looked at the action of chart 227, and it's that the long and the short pattern stack repeat. Okay, and we go in the long pattern stack, we just go from the A here, but keep in mind in this long pattern stack here with this A, going over to this A, we're actually going into the next cage, which would be the G cage, 6/7 root. So going up in string shaped fifths would be G, 6/7 root to D to that A again on top of it, straight up. As you know, with our D pattern in pentatonic, we have like that. Okay, so that would be our 5, 6, 2, 3, 5. Oh, that would be our root 2 rather. Sorry, C, D in the key of C. So starting from D in the key of C, it's 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. D shaped C. So that's about the gist of chart 227, aside from all these other good things. This is starting to get into the super long, but I've got it more brought out in the next charts. All right, chart 228 now. Key of cage long, pattern open cage for solo, fretboard diatonics. What do we got here? Oh my God, what do we got here? Look at all this. Let's look up here. We've got C, A, G, E, D. These are the keys of cage. By the way, I have my capo. It's just difficult to get it on. You have to be strong. C, A, G, E, and D. Okay, but that could also be C shaped C, A shaped C, G shaped C, E shaped C, and D shaped C up here. So you can look at it in two different ways. That's what this chart does for us, for you. I have a whole bunch of patterns over here. We have our little slide pattern. We've got a little piece of the circle of 60 string shaped keys, and we're just looking here. C is 1, G is 5 going to the left, and the fourth would be an E-shaped F going to the right. Okay, and you just keep doing that, and you can go all the way around this circle of 60 keys. And as you go along the circle of 60 keys, you have pattern drift. Okay, so let's say we start going up. Let's look at the short pattern stack. So obviously we're not going to be looking at the low E because we're going to drift up to the left. So we would want to use an octave up, or just treat some other note as the third. It doesn't matter what key. Starting from the 3, we go up in fifths. Fifth of D is A, fifth of A is E, and then we're going to the left. Okay, this is the drift that I'm talking about. Now you're at a 3, 4, 5 that is to the left of this one, and if it wasn't for the tuning difference, which would take this and put it right back over here, right? If this was the bottom C, matter of fact, no matter what C it is, no matter what third it is, if we treated that as the bottom string, we'd be looking at this in reality as our cage, So we're not going to drift up on this one particularly. You know, it's not particularly a good example. Now I should be able to go backwards on that. I can't find the arrow. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it drifts to the left, and eventually what happens is we're looking at it, instead of, if this was the C, let's take my guitar for instance. My guitar can play lower than the C. If it was a C-shaped C in the beginning, okay, going up to a G shape, you know, etc., etc., eventually you're going to get to this E-shaped C. So there's pattern drift. Either this or this is going to be that E-shaped C. Okay, once you keep going with that. So there's pattern drift like that, and it goes around that big circle of 60 chord shapes. If you're going in fifths, it goes down. If you're going in fourths, it goes up the other way. So your E-shaped E, if you started on an E-shaped E, would eventually become an E-shaped F. So that's pattern drift going the other way. Starting 7 root 2. Down here by this one, or one of the others, I'm not positive because of the tuning work, you'll get to an E-shaped F. Long patterns do the opposite. That's all this stack is. We're not looking at that right now. We had a big long lecture on moving the patterns, but this is how the long patterns stack up here. Okay, so I made this chart. This is the C. So if you want to start and play the long pattern at the C, here's how you'd play it. An S3C and an S3AXL. Okay, and on that same fretboard you have these guys here, and these guys here are staggered. So it's C, A, G, 3 fretboards to do all of them. You see how they're cascading out? C, A, here's your G, here's the E, and here's the D. Okay, that's for the C. Now with the A, I didn't do them all, but we got A, then to G, to E, then to D, then to C again. So basically I'm just going to do one of them as easy one because we want to get to the good stuff. I've gotten ahead in charts, and the charts that come after this deal with exactly this problem. So with an A, let's say we have an A-shaped C here. Okay, so that's second inversion C. Alright, we're going to start with an S3AXL into the S3E, which is just 3 strings of the 4 brick pattern that we were playing before. So it's now notice we've gone from an A pattern down here, which is Lydian. That's a little hint of what we're going to learn today. So this pattern not only is valuable to play the A shape from the fretnut or a brick wall or a capo or something you just don't want to go that way with it, or just like long patterns, it also gives us the Lydian. So that's another benefit of playing the S3AXL. Okay, and then we just take it into the next cage. A goes to G, so this would be a G top. We would want to play a G top, at least pentatonic. And then the diatonic of that G would be 6/7 root on top. And underneath, I hope I don't mess this up, it would be pretty much a G pattern.